Yo, what's up, guys? So today we're running through a full upward session at Planet Fitness, and I've never really recorded here in the past. I've only recorded at my previous gym, or I still have a membership there, I just don't go there as often. Anyway, yeah, so the first movement I do is a flat chest press, and I do one set of these. My chest is the weak point, so I want to bring that up, so I'm going to prioritize that by putting that first in the session. One of my friends actually asked me to go over tips or forms or cues to help execute the new movement properly. I think one of the main reasons my chest is a lagging muscle group is because of my execution, and I've really been trying to dial in and focus on using my chest to move the weight instead of any other muscle groups. On a side note, this session was absolutely I was geeked, bro. It was so weird. I went to the beach in the morning, and then I lifted with some friends completely out of nowhere. In my mind, I already told myself I'm going to record this session. It doesn't matter what the hell happens. Next exercise, we're going to use a shoulder machine as an incline chest press. I'm going to scoot my butt a little bit forward. This will allow for more shoulder flexion and allow for a more natural arm path for the upper chest. And for this movement, we'll do one set. On my other upper day, that's when I'll do 2 sets. Something I take pride in my training is the way I'll breathe. And you'll see throughout my sets, I'll take a breath and then do a rep, and then I'll exhale during the rep and then take a breath. I'm pretty sure I got this from trying to do powerlifting back then, especially on the squat and deadlift. Bracing is important. Next, we're on the same machine, we're on the shoulder press. And I only got 4 reps here, which is completely fine by me. I still added 5 pounds to the shoulder press, so that's still progressive overload. My usual approach is I'll do a top set, which is with a heavier weight, and then I'll do a back off set with lighter weight and usually higher reps, but that really just depends. Whoever this lady is, I'm very sorry in advance. I do not mean to get in your way, but what can you do? I don't think there is a sign up on the Planet Fitness thing saying no recording, and I've seen other people do it. So on top of that, I would never purposely get in someone's way. I'll always be mindful of where I am, where my camera's facing, all that stuff. Anyway, next and last chest movement is a chest fly. We're just doing this to isolate the chest, and actually this whole session was kind of out of order from what I usually do. For the video, I put it in the format that I would usually run it for on my upper days. Next movement, we're on the lateral raise. Okay, so I bought this attachment, the Vulcan attachment, and it looks so stupid, I'm not gonna lie, but so I'm holding something and I'm using it as a cup. I wouldn't say my imbalance is terrible, but you can clearly see I adjust myself kind of often whenever I'm doing my right arm, and I think it's because my right arm is my dominant arm, so stabilizing myself feels kind of awkward with my left arm, and the rep discrepancy was low-key kind of crazy. But I did I did an upper session today too, and I'm doing this voice recording a few days after this session. I feel it's so much easier to lateral raise with my left arm than my right arm. I think that explains my muscle imbalance, but it's not even that bad. For this movement, I try my best to think of sweeping my arm out in a way. So I'll have something to the side of me and a little bit in front of me that I can aim for, and I'll try to scoop my elbow out and initiate the movement with my elbow. Next, we're on rear delt. On this upper day, I do a reverse pec deck, and then on my other day, I'll do a cable rear delt fly. For this, my goal is to just sweep my arms out from my elbows as far as possible from each other. And for the sequencing, so what you'll want to do is you're going to put whatever muscle you want to prioritize first. So I did all my push movements, all my chest and shoulder movements first, because I want to work on those muscle groups. Next, I do a preacher curl, and you might be thinking, where's the back? And some of you guys might disagree with how I program this, since I'll do rear delt and bicep before my actual back work, and that's because of my weak points. My shoulders, they actually suck. They're so bad. So that's why after all my push work, I'm gonna program my rear delt work, because I want to prioritize that next, and then my bicep work, because my biceps are another weak point, or it's just another muscle group that I can bring up. Then I'll have my back work at the end of the session. I could technically run it just chest, back work, shoulders, arms, and then that's it. It's gonna be a simple layout. But with this approach with programming, I feel it's a lot better to cater to your weak points and put your strong points on the back end of a session, or just allocate less volume to them. I don't think programming is that complicated, but I feel when you put into the equation of volume, frequency, and all that other stuff, it can get really confusing really quick. So I like to just keep it as simple as possible. Anyway, next is this tricep extension variation, and like I said, I really enjoy this Vulcan grip. If you have $18 to spare, bro, copy this on Amazon. Next movement, I love this movement, but the thing is, the rubber grips, they make it the worst possible thing ever. And I stacked this machine, so I kind of want to try to put more weight on it with like a screwdriver instead. It's either I do that for like low-key just ego, or I just go to the lat pull down and just do the normal variation, which more than likely I'm probably just gonna go do the normal ass lat pull down. But for this, the cues, I like to think of pulling my elbows down. A lot of people tend to make this like an upper back movement. And usually, from just what I see, is that people lean back way too much and then just pull horizontally instead of keeping it like a vertical movement, which is like technically what it is. So, I don't know. And last but not least, an upper back row. And you might be looking at this and be like, what the fuck are you doing? And in all honesty, this variation just like blows anything in that gym out the water. Like the 45-degree row, like with the slanted handles, terrible. TNF Smith variation, terrible. I don't know, I just can't. For this, focus on scapular retraction, and you don't necessarily have to pull your elbow all the way back behind your torso. But yeah, this is my whole upper A session. I'm a tad sunburned, and I did have one out of my 2 off-plan meals like before this gym session. But as of this recording, I feel like my body composition isn't even that bad. And I'm not saying I'm lean or anything, I'm just saying like I've been 150 before, and I had a lot more fat and didn't see like, I still see my bicep vein, I see some like chest striations, shoulder striations, like obviously barely, like it's not really visible, but like I can see my Christmas tree a lot more. I feel like even though it's only been 14 weeks, I feel like this is like the most successful bulk I've ever had in my whole lifting career. My whole lifting career, I would just do a bulk, and then that would last like a few months, and then I would get fat as fuck, and I would just cut and focus on getting lean. I've always been like on one side of the extreme, either super fat and strong or just pretty lean and small. But that's the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed.